But honestly, this top three in the West is kind of solidifying itself, and this Grizzlies team is so impressive to me. I mean, they don't lose at home. They don't ever have their players healthy, and they are third in the West. Like, I don't know,
It is pretty impressive that they do not have their players healthy.
ever. I don't.
Like,
I would love to see a stat of how many games JJ, Bane, and Ja have played together this season. I can't imagine it's very many games.
mm-mm. Um, I mean, Jaren Jackson's been the only consistent besides Jalen Wells. Um,
This looks great. Who
it's
literally
got to
got
be
Marcus Smart benched?
that's also crazy. Yeah,
But
yeah.
they have so many guys. I mean, like Laravia is a good basketball player. I thought
Uh-huh.
Laravia last year was cooked, like he's not at all. I don't know. We still
Yeah.
haven't seen like Gigi Jackson play.
Right. Yeah. Like what's up with like Vince Williams? He hasn't played.
Played three
Um,
games. I don't know if he's hurt right now or if he's
just
I
bad.
honestly have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Like,
they're fun, bro, because they have a lot of aspects. Like Brandon Clark also is like found Brandon Clark offensively knows how to play better with age. Like he's now initiating dribble handoffs and whatnot, as like a player with the ball in his hands on offense, which before he was really just a rim runner. He didn't want to touch the ball on offense.
mhm.
So like that's fun, bro. I like this team a lot. I like this Grizzlies team a lot. I mean, will they ever be healthy is the question. I mean, Jaws played 20
Yeah.
games, right?
Yeah, I don't really see a high ceiling with the Grizzlies. It's tough to trust that.
That's fair. I think if they're
Yeah.
healthy and firing on all cylinders, you got a team that Taylor Jenkins might just be able to math against other teams. Maybe some games Marcus Smart starting. Maybe some games Jalen
hmm
Wells starting. I like that the Grizzlies are going to be very, very adaptable in the playoffs if they're
hmm
healthy.
Yeah. Big emphasis on it. But yeah,
Big.
they'll be exciting. Welcome back to the playoffs.
Yeah, seriously, welcome back. Yeah. Anyways, I guess we hit a pretty hard tangent from the
Yeah.
Mike Brown firing.
What do we think about Mike Brown? Proceeds to talk about all the other teams except for the Kings.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I think the Kings have a trade in them still. They've got the Herder contract right and picks. Um,
Mhm.
they really missed out on the DFS, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Schroeder trades. They got rid of most of their second round picks doing salary dumps over the last 2 years. And it really hurts that, if they had four second round picks, they'd probably have Dennis Schroeder or Dorian Finney-Smith, who would have fit really well in the Kings, I actually think.
hmm Yeah, he would have. I just always like, for what? Like what? Okay, like now
But you try
you're
to unlock, yeah, I mean that's true. The issue is they have like kind of a core set in stone for the Kings.
yeah
Like if
yeah
you're like these fringe trades, like can only help you so much. At some point, you just need Malik Monk to score 20 a game, or you just need like Keegan Murray to start shooting 42% from
yeah
three.
right. You need him to develop full. Yeah,
Because
I
he's
mean
developed defensively though. Him, Fox, and Keon Ellis are like menaces on defense. I think like that trio on defense is really good individually, but I don't think they're a very good defensive team, which is like a catch 22.
right. Yeah, oh, they got to step it up if they want to do anything. That's interesting. Did you see there was something about Fox potentially being like could he be traded?
I just can't see that
Something.
happening this year, right? So Fox has 1 year left on his contract after this year.
Mm,
So it's like this offseason, I think. Uh
yeah.
if he did get traded, um, this is me double checking that information by the way. Um, but yeah, so he's got 1 year left after this year. So like he's not getting traded this year. If he gets traded, it'll be this offseason. Because if you're the Kings, you can't let him walk. If he
No,
walks, you're
no,
screwed. If he
no.
walks, it's game over because you get no assets back.
You blow it up.
I thought this
You really do.
honestly wouldn't hate to see them blow it up.
Yeah.
Do you think they've hit their ceiling? Like I kind of
Yeah.
is Fox gonna be better than this? Is Sabonis gonna be better than this? Like
No, and they're great players, man. The the West is just too good. It's just too deep. There's too many good players. You either have really deep teams or really amazing players, and the Kings don't have either of those situations going on. Like they don't have a top 10 player,
yeah,
or they don't have like an unbelievably deep team. They have, I mean, Keon
they
Ellis. is
Yeah.
good, but like
They don't even have some sort of balance between the two because like the Suns also they've got an unbelievably top heavy team and even in
right,
the West, like if you don't have some sort of balance between the two, like I mean the Warriors are allegedly deep and have Steph Curry, right?
right,
And they're getting
right.
cooked, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
say allegedly deep because like 12 players can score 8 points a game isn't really deep, right? um,
damn. No,
but
it's
yeah,
tough.
I think this is the ceiling, and I would like to see them blow it up because I think they were good. They rebuilt the beam, and they
Hmm.
have a lot of assets. I think you could blow it up pretty easy. You could blow it up and really be good fast. You get four firsts for Fox. You probably get four firsts for Sabonis.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah,
You
and that's
keep
like not even counting young players. You trade
right.
Malik Monk. You trade. Then you're just building around Keegan Murray. You're like, hey, Keegan, we got you. We're gonna keep DeRozan around as an older
Yeah,
guy,
as a
and now we kind
veteran,
of have a
yeah.
Raptors. Now we kind of have a Raptors model of like we can kind of keep being good. Like we don't have to be terrible. We don't have to bottom out completely. I mean, DeRozan and
Yeah.
Keegan Murray is still a bad team, but like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's kind of my take. I don't know.
And that's how it feels about the Mike Brown thing. It's like what is firing him like the first step in a trade and like or in a domino effect of other stuff that's going to happen, and then we're like, oh shoot, wow, they just ripped off 5 straight wins. Now it's exciting.
Do you see them? Could they win a playoff series? Could they win one playoff series?
Could the Kings win a playoff series?
Because if you can't, if I literally struggle to imagine winning a playoff series, like
Only because if they happen to like get hot enough and then face the Rockets, like the lack of playoff experience that the Rockets have, like maybe. And the fact that Fox and Sabonis went up against the Warriors a couple years ago, like maybe that could be helpful. And you have DeRozan,
Fox
maybe.
was so good. Fox was so good in that series.
Yeah.
Didn't shoot the
So
ball well on paper, but I was like so scared.
yeah.
I don't know,
Um,
bro. I don't know. I don't know if I could see them beating the Rockets. Like I'm sure there's a percentage chance, but
yeah, yeah, of course.
like
Um,
I like it's hilarious to me because Jalen Green is playing terribly and the Rockets are this good. Like if Jalen Green started shooting 42% from the field, I think Jalen Green is shooting under 40% for this season.
he is shooting. Let's go right now. He is shooting. Oh, yeah, he's shooting 41%.
Oh, he's up back up.
He's
He had a
yeah,
really rough stretch.
he did
But
have a rough start to the year.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty in on the Rockets being pretty good. I think their defensive ceiling is just so good. Like the Kings don't have like that sort of defensive ceiling, in my opinion. And that's the thing. Maybe Doug Christie comes in if he gets them locked in on defense. Does a lot to your floor, you know. So
Yeah,
like we'll see.
right.
And I think Doug Christie is a good coach. This is the other thing I will say. Although Mike Brown got fired, I actually think Doug Christie is a very good coach. He's also been biding his time as a really good assistant for a while. Um, so you know.
It's no
Do you see
slight to
Mike?
Doug Christie.
Do you see Mike Malone just eviscerate the Kings? Because obviously this happened to Mike Malone too.
Oh, I saw he was pissed, right?
Yeah, because this happened to
Yeah.
his last stop was Sacramento before Denver, right?
No, I did not know that. He's been
And I
with
think
Denver.
it was the Rondo Cousins, Rudy Gay teams, and they were
Oof,
actually like pretty good. They were actually like a playoff
they're all
team,
right.
and they were
No,
like,
no, 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 no. They were never a playoff team
really?
now. Because remember the Kings like when they made the playoffs, that was like the big streak that finally broke, and that was when the whole like the beam thing happened. They were
Yeah,
always
you're
like a
right.
38 win team or something.
Oh,
But
dude, yeah, I
they
found it. They were actually they were terrible.
yeah, they were a tough matchup.
They were a tough matchup. They were. Oh no, but when Mike Malone got fired, they were 11-13, and the rest of the way they lost 2 games for every game they won. So
No, so yeah, not very good.
They brought in George Karl, who went 11-19 after Mike Malone went 11-13.
George Karl, bro.
Dude, he might have some of the worst Twitter takes
Take. He
ever.
has some terrible takes on Twitter.
Horrible, horrible, horrible. Doesn't seem like a great dude.
No. What was there? There's some stat, and he quote tweeted like, "Who cares?" Forget what it was, but it just like pissed me off.
You see that clip of apparently like when he first met Mello, he's like, I see more of like a deadlift shrimp.
Like what? What is that?
Dude, what are you saying to your star player, bro? I think you're more like
Devilish.
that. Also, like, what do they mean?
That's crazy, Will. Like what? Like
No
a
fling to
fundamental.
Della Shrimp. I
Yeah,
mean,
of
but
course. That's nuts.
anyways,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's enough. That's enough Kings talk, honestly.
Yeah.
Light the
Yeah.
beam or something. We'll talk more. We'll talk about them more when they go over 500.
Yeah.
If they go over 500.